Hey everyone, it's Arlene here. I finished my mini album for Kristen, and this is for the Shabby Chic November mini album swap. And I was a little out of my element making this mini album because, as you know, most of my mini albums are usually geared around the browns and the maroons and the darker colors, real vintage sort of feel to it. This has a little bit of a vintage retro type of feel to it, but anyways, this is the Butterfly mini album that I created for Kristen, and I created it using this chipboard piece, which is a new die that I got from my AccuCut machine. So basically I just cut it in half and sort of built the mini album from there. So let me go ahead and explain to you what I did here. Here's the, I did a video not too long ago showing a haul from Michael's, and this is an ornament that I picked up at Michael's that I said I was going to incorporate in Kristen's mini, so there it is. And it's just hanging on some twine, and I punched a little hole on the wing there with my crocodile. So I have a bunch of fiber. I was going to use my Bind It All. I even cut the O-wire and everything, but the mini album got too fat, so I ended up having to bind it with twine. So there's the binding, and then I just hung some fibers and ribbons on there. The stickers here are by, gosh, I don't know who they're by. I think they're by Soft Spoken, but they're really pretty dimensional butterfly stickers, and I didn't add anything on it. It was already like that. So the paper I'm using is the cut and paste paper by K & Company. On the butterflies, I did some glossy accents, so they're shiny. Then I have some boa here, really pretty. I love working with this material. It's really fun. And then there's a sticker here from the K & Company collection that I have. It says Friendship. And this mini album, if you didn't see my other video, is something that Kristen can use to hold some memories of her time with the girls as she prepares to get married. And so she can use this to fill some of the shopping memories, shopping for the wedding, shopping for the dresses, just doing the girl thing, you know, like a tea party or whatever in preparation for the wedding. Okay, so moving along. What I did is I took the smaller butterfly die, which came in the same die set that the big butterfly die came from, and I cut the wings and I used them as not really pockets, but I know the theme of the mini album's pockets, and I do have some pockets on here, but just a little bit of a unique pocket is I just adhered it with a glue dot, and it becomes a little thingamajig to hold the tags. Sorry, I'm at a loss for words. So anyways, under here, I just made some tags with the really cute paper. I love this paper. It's so pretty. So she can use those to journal or stick some pictures. And over here it says Our Moment. And then it says Fun here, the little perfume bottle. And then over here, just some more space for journaling and pictures. And then there's a little pink pearl brad holding that together. Then I have a little charm here. Just a little flower and a little kind of like a dewdrop lily looking thing right there. And then I left this page blank so that she can pretty much fill it with pictures or whatever she wants to do. I wanted to leave space for pictures because with the butterfly wings the space is pretty limited. So I left this plain as well so she can add some pictures. And then over here there is acetate, and I don't know if you can see it, but I ran it through with my Sizzix Big Shot and the embossing plates, and it's the damask, you can hardly see it, it's the damask embossing plate, and then I just have a wing here where she can insert photos, and then I left this plain here so she can insert photos or do some journaling on the lines, whatever she wants to do. And there's a little Prima flower and then some ribbon around the acetate. Over here you'll see that I did some painting, and I also used my Perfect Pearls and Perfect Medium, and I used the I always forget what these are called, liquid pearls around the wing. And then I have a sticker, it says Beauty, and then I put some little flowers that I picked up from the wedding section at Michael's. And then I have the little stick flowers from the Vintage Findings collection by Making Memories. And then over here I have a piece of acetate that I got from a I think it's a Making Memories acetate set, and I ran it through my AccuCut with only half the wing. And then I adhered the edges around this part with glossy accents and left this piece open. So it's a little pocket, and I just put a little butterfly card in here where she can do some journaling or insert some photos, however she wants to do that. It's really a small little thing, so she could insert like a little photo like on the bottom of the wing, and then put some journaling up in the top. And then I put some pearls up on the top there, and here's the little music note paper clip that I picked up at Staples. And then on this wing you can see I did some clear embossing. It's a damask. And then on this page I did a brick red acrylic paint, and then I used the pink dauber by Adirondack shell pink, and then I kind of just slightly brushed it across, and then I glimmer mist it with cherry blossom. And then here's a feather, and then more of those little flowers I picked up in the wedding section at Michael's, and then a Tim Holtz Adash ticket. It says Giggle. And then on this page it says My Friends, and then here's the little flower again, and then I put these little dewdrops that I found at Michael's in the mosaic tile section. So here's a bag of them. Really cute, different colors. So I use those as sort of like the leaves of the flower, and then on almost like every other dot, I glossy accent the circles on there. So there's a little bit of, I don't know if you can see it, a little shine there. Kept this plain again, says Ooh La La. And then on this side there's like a little purse, and then more of those flowers. And then over here it says The Sisterhood. And then I took some old lace and I glimmer mist it. And I think I used, it wasn't Sweet Pea, I think it was called Sherbet. I think I used Sherbet, either that or Cherry Limeade, I can't remember. But I sprayed it with some glimmer mist to give it some color. And then over here I took a piece of burlap and I ran it through my Big Shot with the Layering Flowers die. And then I glimmer mist it. So that's what the back part is, it's burlap. And then on the top part, it's basically a Prima flower that I glimmer mist, and I used UT on that as well, and some glitter. And then over here is an accent I picked up in the wedding section at Michael's, and I did a haul on this. These were on clearance, and it's a little butterfly. It's cute. I have a few of these incorporated in the mini. It says One of a Kind, then I left the space blank there for more pictures. And then on this side, these are actually wings. If you could see, it's part of the wings. But I attached it with some fiber, and then the brad, or an eyelet, and so there's space in there for journaling and pictures. And then same with this piece over here. And by the way, these swing open, so she could insert more photos back here or do some more journaling if she wanted. And then same with this one, it swings as well. And then there's a little paper clip here, and I bought this at Walmart, and I personalized it. What I did is I ripped off the, they used to look like this. And then I ripped off the top, and then I used my 3/4 circle punch by Stampin' Up, punched out the designer paper, and then I put an epoxy sticker on top of that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here, guys. It looks like I'm going to have to do a part 2 because this mini is a little bit big. So be right back. Bye.